Picture this, summer 1998. 2 years in my career as a production supervisor, I was asked to go to work in a new facility. This was going to require a transfer, going from one state to another. While going from one state to another, that was going to be a challenge within itself. But I was staying in the South. That was something big to me also. I was asked to go from a batter and breaded plant to a chicken broth plant. This was a process that was used by a large corporation to make chicken broth. This chicken broth, I found out, took about 17 hours for the process. Day one, walking in the plant, this was a beautiful facility. It had large windows in the hallways before stepping in. I'm standing here watching this batter breaded process. I know this like the back of my hand. This is beautiful. My first thoughts were, hey kid, you can do this. You're going to make wonders because where you come from, you are the man. While doing this, the VP walks up. He said, hey, I see you looking in there watching the batter and breaded, or as we call it, the B&B. Look across the hall. This is what I want you to look at. This is the broth line. We need this master. We have another facility about 300 miles away that does the same process. It supplies all of the United States, and this will be the second plant. We would like for you to give us a hand here because whenever there are issues, we only have one facility. Now the U.S. does not get their process, does not get their product. This product, you have a first and second market on. On the second market, you do about 40% second market. You do about 60% first market. The goal was to get as close as possible to 100, something that had never been done. But like they stated, it's an art, not a science. But with two facilities, and both doing on the high end of 60 and 60, so that means they're getting more than what the market needs. So now it's my turn to become part of the team. Watching this process, again, I asked, you sure? 17-hour process? Yes. So I asked about the numbers. What's your throughput? How long do you run? Run 17 hours. How much product you're putting in to get your end product? Really don't know. It's an art, not a science. I said, art, not a science. I said, anything you do, you can put numbers to it. Now it becomes a science or a mathematical equation, whichever one you want to utilize. They kind of chuckled. They said, this company have been doing this decades upon decades. So we're going to stick to the process. Okay, fine. I go in, I start working with the group, I start observing. I start looking at how much product they were putting in, how long it was taking to get, how long it was taking that initial raw material to fall out of the cooker. I was looking at the amount of sage they put in. I was looking at the temps of the product. I'm starting to put together my own KPIs. For those that don't know, a KPI is a key process indicator. And as I'm watching this, every day I just start seeing what all I put in. So I came up with what I call my chicken Bible. Every day I wrote down how much raw material I put in, what it looked like every hour when it comes out, what the temp was every hour when it comes out, how much water was put in the cooker and was used every hour, how fast my reciprocal pumps were running on the inside, just by double checking that through the maintenance team, how much sage I was putting in for hours. And what I done was I looked at both first shift and second shift, kept up with everything that we had. Started putting these numbers together. So by doing that, I came up with a regular pounds per hour that I need to have going into the cooker. I came up with what it should look like when the product is coming out, how much water I should be using, what the temp should be when I initially put the product in, the actual amount of sage I use per hour. Put all these numbers together, came up with a 4-hour process. That 4-hour process, um, we were getting anywhere from 90 to 100% good product. This was something new to everyone. This process was so good, they sent corporate down because corporate thought that we was doing something improperly. Had a big round table. They had all the corporate execs. I pulled out my chicken Bible. While using that chicken Bible, as they would ask questions, I was spitting out answers. And after a while, I asked them would they like a tour so I can walk them through my whole process. I walked them through the process. We got to the point that that facility could produce 110% of what the whole company needed for all the product they had coming to the United States. This was because I created a process, I stuck with the process, and I trusted the process. This reminds me of a Bible verse. And this Bible verse goes a long way with me. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. That's what makes the difference. Again, that is Colossians 3:23. So the next time you're refining a process, remember, it's your art too. Make it with heart and precision. Again, the next time you're refining a process, remember, it's your art too. Master it with heart and precision.